at average and range for our lesson today. We are picking our lesson from Unit 10 and it's at page 104 to 107. Okay? So when we say an average, it means that we are looking for a particular number that can represent the whole statistics. Okay? So that means when you have a statistics of a certain number of people, we need to find the average. So the average will be one single number that will represent the whole data that you have. Okay, so there will be three kinds of averages that you can always find. You can find an average by using the mode, you can find average by using the median, or you can find an average by using the mean. Okay, so there are three types of average that you can always find when you have a statistics. We're going to go through the various averages kinds that we have for you to understand how each of them works. Okay, so the first one that we're going to look at will be the mode. So a mode is a type of an average that you can find. And what is the mode? The mode is the most common value, okay? It's the most common number within the statistics or within the data that you are working around it. So we have an example here. We have 2, 3, 7, 6, 9, 3, 4, and 3. So we can assume that this is a statistics that was taken from, let's say, a group of students or a group of people in a particular situation. Okay. So in these records that we have, when we are to look for the mode average, okay, the mode average will be the number that appears most in this line. Okay, so you see that this is 2 and you can't find 2 in any other portion again, but there's 3 here, there's 3 here, and then there's 3 here. So in this example that we have, we can confirm that 3 is the modal average. Okay, so mode and modal are the same words that we use interchangeably. So the modal or the mode average for this example becomes 3 because we have 3 here, and then we have 3 here, and then we have 3 here. So 3 is the number that is appearing most. Okay, so the most common value is 3. So 3 becomes the mode. Okay, so 3 is our mode average. Okay, because it is appearing more over here. So please understand that when we say the mode average, it means the number that appears frequently or more in your statistics or in your list. Okay. Okay, the median. The median means the middle number in right order. So whenever you have a statistics that you are dealing with and you are supposed to find the median, the first thing that you need to do is to rearrange your numbers that you have. Okay, so when you arrange your numbers that you have, then you can find the middle number and that will become your median. So first of all, we need to arrange our numbers in the right order. So in the right order, we start with 1. So we have 1, 2, and then we have 3, we have 4, and then we have 6, we have 9, we have 7, 9. So 9 is the last one. So when we put our numbers in order, this is what we find. So now to find the median of this number, it means that we are going to look for the number that is in the middle. So we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 7. So that means if we take this 3 and then we take this 3, 4 is in the middle. Okay, so 4 is in the middle. So 4 becomes the median. So the median average. So the median average will be 4 because 4 is in the middle. Okay. So once 4 is in the middle, it becomes the median average for your statistics or for the records that you are dealing with. Okay. The last one that we're going to look at will be the mean average. Mean average. So how do you find the mean average? We know that mode is the most common number, and then median is the middle when we put it in the right order. So how do we find the mean? You can find the mean whereby you add up all values and then you divide by the number of values. Okay. So an example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So these are the values that we have. So when we add up all these values, okay, so we're going to do 1 plus 2, we're going to give us 3, plus 3 is going to give us 6, plus 4 is going to give us 10, plus 5 is going to give us 15, okay. So 15 becomes our value, okay. So 15 is the value. Okay. Now we have to look for the number of values. So the number of values becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the total number of values here becomes 5. So we have 5 number of value. Okay. So 5. So the number of values that we have here will become 5. So this is how you should do. So your value of 15 divided by your 5 is going to give us 3. So your 3 becomes the mean average. Okay. So the 3 becomes your mean average. So in short, what you have to do is that you have to add up the values, then you have your total value, and then you find the number of values. So the number of values becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That means 5 items is what we are dealing with. You divide that with your value, and then that will give you your mean average. Okay. Okay, so this is for our first video, and we're going to have our exercise from this, the learner's book. You open at page 107, exercise 10.2, which I'm going to post the picture to you so that you can see the questions very well. We'll be dealing with question 1 up to question 6. Okay, so after this exercise, then we'll go to our second video. So I'll be waiting and see you in our second video. Hello students, welcome back to our second video. So in today's lesson, we are looking at average and that of range, but our first look will be on the average, and then we will look at range as we proceed. Okay, so from the first video we explained the 3 types of averages that we can always find. We can find the mode average, we can find the median, and that of the mean. Okay, so in this video we're going to look at a different situation because every data that you have can also be confusing or demand a different understanding of the mode and that of the median and the mean. Okay, so we know that the mode average is the number that appears most. That is the most common value in the list that you are having. Okay, so in this example we have 4, 4, 5, 5, and then we have 3, 2, 7, and 8. So we can see that we have 2 of 4s and then we have 2 of 5. Okay, so in this situation, whenever you have 2 or more numbers that are repeating or becoming the most common numbers, you choose those numbers as your modal or mode average. Okay, because 2 numbers are appearing more in the same situation or in these statistics, okay? So your mode average is 4 and 5, okay? So it's 4 and 5, or you can say 4 and 5, okay? So the mode becomes 4 and 5 because 4 is appearing 2 here and then 5 is also appearing 2 here. So it's not always that you're going to get just a single digits being the mode. Sometimes you can get a situation whereby 2 numbers or even 3 numbers becoming your mode. So just understand that the mode is the most common value, the most common value that you find in your records, okay? Okay, in the case of the median, we know that the median is the middle number when you put them in the right order. So we have this example, we're going to put it in the right order and then we find our median. The smallest unit is 2, so we find 2, 3, and then we have 5, and then we have 7, and then we have 8 and 10. Okay, so already it is in the right order already. So median is to find the middle number. Okay, so now let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the list is even, so that means we have 2 numbers meeting in the middle. So whenever you have 2 numbers that meet in the middle, because now we cannot separate them because we need a number that will stand in between here. But because our list is even, we have 2 numbers meeting over here. So whenever you have 2 numbers meeting, what you have to do is that you have to add up, okay? You have to add the 2 numbers that you have, and that is going to give us 12, okay? So when you have these 2 numbers that you have, you divide by 2 because the values that we are using are 2. So you divide it by 2, and then that is going to give us 6, okay? So which means that our value here is supposed to be 6. So the median equal 6. When 2 numbers are meeting at the same spot, whereby you cannot get a middle, please add up the 2 and then divide by 2, and then you can find your median average. We look at mean as the final type of average that we can always do. So in the case of mean, you always have to add up all values and then you divide by the number of values that you have, okay? So we have 6, 3 plus 3 will give us 6, and this will give us 10, and then this will be equal to 17, okay? So this will be equal to 17. How many are we dealing? So we are dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So you divide here by 4. So this is going to give us, we have 4 into 4 then. So we have to do, so basically this is going to give us 4, 16, and then we have remainder 10, so that will be 2. Okay, so we can stop here and say that our average mean is going to give us 4.2. Okay, so that is going to give us 4.2 as our mean over here. So anytime you are dealing with mean, you add up all and then you divide by the number of values that we are dealing with. So these numbers that we are dealing with are for 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's add up to 17. Okay, so we move to our second task for this activity. It can be found at page 54 at the skills builder section. So it's exercise 10.2. You are doing questions 1 up to 6 as well, which will be posted to you for you to see the pages well. I'll see you in the third video to conclude this lesson. Thank you. Hello students, I hope that you have enjoyed our first and second video On this last video, we're going to do a recap that is going through what we have studied today so that we will always keep them in mind. Our topic has been on average and range, but our main emphasis has been on average for today. We looked at three main kinds of averages that we can find. The first one was the mode, and the second one was the median, and the last one was the mean. We learned that the mode or the modal average is the most frequent number that you see in your statistics always. So whenever you are dealing with any question that is asking you to find the mode, your concentration should be on the most common value that you see. Okay, it's the most common value that you see, as we did in the various examples. In the case of the median, its name, it says the median. So we look for the median number. So how do you get the median number? You have to put your values, or you have to put your numbers in the right order. So if your numbers are not in the right order as you are being given, it means your first responsibility is to put the numbers in the right order. When you put the numbers in the right order and your values are odd, if they are odd, it means that it's always easy to separate them and find the number that stands right in the middle. In a situation whereby you have your values to be even, that means there will be two numbers meeting at the middle point. You have to add up those two numbers and then you divide by 2. Because you are adding two values, so the number that you have to use to divide them will be 2. And your answer will give you the median average that you are looking for. In the last scenario, or in the last type of average that you need to find, that will be the mean. And finding the mean, you always have to add up all the values that you are dealing with, okay? So all the values that you are dealing with, you have to add them up. So after adding up the values, you have to divide by the number of values, okay? So adding the values means this plus this plus this plus that will give you your total. And then the number of values means the individual items that you dealt with. So the individual items will become 3, which is 1, 3, which is 2, 4, which is 3, 7, which is 4. So which means the number of value or the total items you are dealing with will be 4 items. So you divide your total value with the number of values that you are dealing with. And that would always give you your mean average that you are looking for. Okay. So we will have our homework to end this class for today, and I would like to sound this word of advice to everyone to be serious with your homework, because you have some points there and I don't want you to be losing your point. As we join the group, if you have any questions, please always feel free to ask your questions, and I will be there to give you the right answers to support you to understand your lessons very well. Okay, so for your homework, we will pick it from the challenge book. We'll go to exercise 10.2 from the challenge book, which can be found at page 57 and that of 58. I'm still going to post the pages to you through the group so that you can see them well. Thank you very much for joining class today, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.